And we are live. Welcome to Travel Insights, powered by the leading travel and tourism daily news portal, traveldailynews.com, international edition. We are streaming live on our website, on YouTube, as well as on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Thank you for tuning in wherever you're watching us from. I'm Chris Escodra, and in this interview series, I have the chance every week to interview thought leaders, professionals, academics, and practitioners in the travel, tourism, aviation, and hospitality industries. And those experts share their unique insights and expertise with me and with you out there. I think the introductory video has given you already a taste of what's to come. Today, I have the great pleasure to welcome into the studio. Here he joins me from Tallinn, Estonia, Mr. Rainer Aavik. Welcome, Rainer.
Thank you for having me, Krista. Hello.
Hi, greetings from Finland, your neighbor.
12 points from us to you.
I knew that you're going to do that. It sounded very Eurovision like.
Yeah.
So, welcome, Rainer Aavik. You are the director of the Estonian Tourism Board. Thank you for taking the time to join me here in the Travel Insight studio. You have been in this position for nearly a year, right? You were appointed last August 2022.
Yes, you're correct about that.
You're currently leading a team of 35 tourism professionals, branding and working to promote Estonia as a destination for business, for tourists, for a lot of things. You do amazing things there in Estonia. We will open them up in today's episode. You used to be also the deputy mayor of the city of Pärnu. You have been responsible for tourism and planning and development there. You have more than 15 years of experience in managing large-scale public sector investments all around Estonia. Your background academically is in public administration and cybersecurity. You have master's degree. You're well versed into hospitality. You understand the policy, the strategic directives as well, and planning. So now in today's topic, you're the best person actually to open today's topic, which is this one right here. Tallinn, the culinary capital of the Baltics, and why not the Nordics as well in the near future? Uh, how important is the food in Estonia's strategic priorities? Tell us a little bit first about, in the big picture, what are the strategic priorities of the Estonian tourism policy and the Estonian brand?
Yeah, thank you for the great introduction. That food is definitely, for the last year, has been really important, as we're getting to the Michelin topic as well later on. But besides the food, we also are focusing on our nature, our culture, and of course the business tourism side, which is a main focus for most of the countries. From last year on, we have the long-term tourism strategy, and it clearly states what we have to focus on, and we have gone through the plan, although the times have been very difficult for the sector all over the world.
Yes, if you could share a little bit the vision of Visit Estonia, where do you see Estonia and its brand heading towards? Tell us a little bit about where you want to be in the future, how you want to be perceived. So, in terms of your own unique brand identity, and also how you want to perceive by international travelers around the world. How do you want to be known?
Mhm. We also actually have a new brand strategy, which is called "It's Estonia. It's about time." So we want to focus on saying that we're happy to have everyone, especially our good neighbors from Finland and Latvia, and of course Germany, UK, USA, and we have worked a lot of becoming more and more professional. From last year, we have 12 agencies on our main markets who actually help us to get the best contacts to really put Estonia on the, let's say, the bucket list of everyone.
And to put Estonia on the map, really, because if we look at Estonia, is a small country, a little bit in the periphery of Europe. Tell us a little bit historically from our to our international audience, because our audience on traveldailynews.com come all the way from the US to Asian countries. So it's a very diverse audience. Tell us a little bit, a couple of words about Estonia. What is Estonia's unique identity and position here within Europe?
Yeah, I think the very big strength we have is Estonia is so small. So just in an hour's drive, you can go to so many different places. Estonia from one end to the other is maybe only a 5-hour drive. So you can imagine that how much you can see in such a short time. And of
Mhm.
course, the history has combined a nice mixture of the Nordics, the Slavic part. So and the history part kind of creates who we really are. We're a nice mixture of very different parts of Europe, and as we are happy to have quite a few guests all over the world, I think
Mhm.
most of them actually leave very surprised. Usually the expectations are not that high, but if they leave, they are very positively surprised.
Mm. And you spoke about the variety of cultures in the historic perspective and how the country has evolved and all the influence that they have been as a melting pot gathered there in this part of the world. So tell us a little bit about the because today's topic is Tallinn, the capital of Estonia, as the culinary capital of the Baltics. You have been um, recently recognized from the prestigious Michelin guide. Many of your restaurants, or a couple of your restaurants, two of your restaurants have received the Michelin star, and many other have received other recognition. Tell us first, before we dig deeper into the Michelin star restaurants, the importance of culinary tourism. You mentioned that food in the strategic priorities plays a vital role. How food reflects this authentic identity of Estonia, and just as you mentioned a while ago, about the influences from the different phases of the Estonian history.
Mhm. Yeah, although we have had the Michelin only for a year now, before that we worked strongly together with the White Guide, which also has 100 restaurants now. And I think it has been a very long-term process for the last maybe 10 or even 20 years that our chefs, the local consumers, and of course the tourists have kind of set a certain standard that we don't want to but we want to improve all the time. Many of our chefs have worked abroad in the best restaurants of the world, really. We still have a few top chefs working in Copenhagen at the moment, and many of them have come back here. We have plenty of chefs that have worked in Sweden or Finland. So we have the expertise. I think the Estonian food culture is very unique and authentic. It mixes together international food standards, but also uses the local ingredients in a very special way. As you saw from a video, more than half of Estonia is covered by forest, so we have plenty of green space where to grow things. So I don't think there are not too many places in Europe anymore where you can really go to a forest and get a full dinner from there. So I think Estonia is a very, very unique place in that context.
Mm. So you mentioned about the expertise that you have, the very international influences, but also the amazing nature, the great produces that come fresh there from the forest, and of course the local expertise from the local chefs.
Mhm.
That they all marry together and bring this unique outcome. I have to say, as a person who is living in Finland for nearly 2 decades, and of course I traveled to Estonia, and it's actually one of my favorite destinations. We all knew, or we all know, in our hearts and our minds, that really Estonia, and Tallinn in particular, is indeed the culinary capital of the Baltics, and it's really competing head to head with the Nordics. And if you want to eat well, you don't stay in Finland, I have to say. You go to Estonia. People know it. So I have to say, as a traveler, this is my personal experience. So now the Michelin guide and its recognition came just to put a stamp on what the people really have been knowing for a number of years. So let's touch upon this now. What is the significance of having Michelin in Estonia? How important it is for the culinary scene, for putting Estonia on the global culinary map? Because, as I said, people who have traveled to Estonia, they know it, that the food culture and the food scene is excellent. But now there is a stamp of recognition. Tell us a little bit
Mhm.
about this.
Mhm. What we have been actually very surprised is that Michelin is a door opener in many ways.
Mhm.
I work in a larger organization that takes care of all the Estonian businesses. And if you mention Michelin in any part of the world, it is for sure a standard of like, it is the best standard. People know that you can really trust the countries that have a Michelin star restaurant, or actually a Michelin system in place. Although we have now uh, two restaurants that have a Michelin star
Mhm.
yeah, two Michelin star restaurants. We have
Mhm.
more than 30 which are mentioned in the guide, and they're not only
Mhm.
in Tallinn. They cover the whole of Estonia, and I think that's also a very good and nice trend, that not only the life is here in Tallinn, but it's even in the far parts like Setumaa or the smaller islands of Estonia. So Estonia is becoming a culinary destination.
And we just took a glimpse here in a little video that I believe in its opening, it had one of the Michelin star restaurants, right? So would you
Mhm.
like to name the two restaurants that they are in the Michelin
Yeah,
guide,
one is the
or have a
Noa Chef.
Michelin star?
Yeah, one of them is Noa Chef Hall, which is located just outside of Tallinn, which has a spectacular view of the Tallinn panorama. The other one is also at the seaside. It's the 180 degrees by Matthias Dietrich. So he's a German chef who has worked here for more than a decade. So these are the top places. But I also want to mention that we have a Michelin Green Star place called Fotografiska, which is in the new hip area called Telliskivi. And besides that, we have a few Bib Gourmands. And so, yeah, there's a lot going on here in Tallinn and also throughout the whole of Estonia.
Mm. And you said that the Michelin stars and the Michelin Guide and the recognition has opened some doors for you. So, what do you see the next step? So, of course, it's great to have that recognition, and it's great that the restaurants can put on their website that we are a Michelin star restaurant and book your table here, eat with us. Get the experience, but what's the next step, and how do you see it as Visit Estonia? How do you plan to capitalize on this recognition and not to stay stagnant and still, but take steps forward for the coming years?
Mhm. We have seen that Michelin has helped the sector quite a bit because as soon as we got the Michelin star restaurants, they were booked for at least 3 months in advance. As long as they are selling, they have been fully booked. One trend that we see is that we have foreign chefs coming in. For example, from Finland, we have a famous chef called Kim Mikkola who has received 3 Michelin stars before, and he just took over a very nice restaurant in Tallinn with his whole team. And we hope that a lot more of that will actually happen to kind of grow the restaurant business inside of Estonia. And another trend, of course, is that the top chefs are moving away from Tallinn to the countryside to really create like very unique restaurants anywhere in Estonia.
Hmm. You mentioned about trends because you represent the Estonian Tourism Board, and today we are talking about culinary tourism, and the emphasis is on food, which is one of your strategic priorities. May I ask you, at a general level, what other trends in hospitality and tourism play a role in your work, and how do you want to develop the Estonian brand? Are there any other trends other than tourism if we look
Mhm.
at a general level? Let's touch upon that as well, because you do much more. And food, of course, it's a vital part, but not the only one.
Mhm. I think actually sustainability is one of the focus areas for both Estonia and Finland and a lot of the Nordic countries, that we actually want to be sustainable, and we are very sustainable already. For example, we got this great recognition from Italy this year. They nominated us to be the best destination abroad, who is the kind of the greenest destination from the view they have. And this is a focus we have really an important focus topic for us to become the most sustainable destination. And the companies are actually understanding it a lot more. And from the customer side, I think it's obvious that everyone wants to be really, really sustainable. That's an important topic.
Sustainability. I think it ties very hand in hand with the culinary tourism as well.
Mhm.
If we look at the data and the research you conduct, you touched upon your inbound tourists and what profile they're having, where they're coming from, which parts of the world, and um, can you tell us a little bit about the reasons people travel to Estonia? What brings them there? Do they come really because you said that you want to put Estonia on the map and on the bucket
Mhm.
list of every traveler? What are the reasons people have been traveling to Estonia currently, and how do you want to see this evolving in the near future?
Mhm. if we look it from the perspective of being in somebody's bucket list, I guess the old town of Tallinn is definitely number one, especially at Christmas time. It has been nominated the best Christmas market for many years, and it really looks great. And it is a very nice off-season time to come to Tallinn. Um, Besides that, I think we have a lot of very nice places outside of Tallinn as well. Let's name one of the Rummu Quarry, for example, which hasn't been discovered by too many people yet. It's an old prison, but it really has a unique look. So it has been all over Instagram for the last few years. So just to name a few, and of course we have a very unique culture on the bigger and smaller islands, which have been kind of untouched. You still kind of get a feeling that things have been very similar for years and years, actually even centuries. If you of course we have like the modern communications and everything very in place, but still the people's attitude is in a good way very historic.
More slow paced and
Yes.
let me ask you on a personal level, Rainer. You are the director of the Estonian Tourist Board. You have a family of your own. You like to, I guess, to travel with your family. Tell us a little bit about your favorite destinations within Estonia.
hmm I would definitely recommend, of course, Pärnu, as I'm very much involved with that, and coming to
Mhm.
Pärnu in summertime to really get the kind of a nice mixture of a very natural, lovely beach with a very lively nightlife, let's say like that, and also a great food scene. So that would be my favorite. So I spend a lot of time there. Of course, besides that, I would definitely recommend going to the islands of Estonia, which, as I said, had a very kind of it has a very unique type of hospitality there as well. People are really friendly, and as soon as you step on the island, you have a separate experience. And of course, the south side, which is also a bit further away from Tallinn, but it has a very unique character. And if I mention again distant places in Estonia, that means up to 3 hours of driving, so
Mhm.
not very far away.
Right. And you do other great things there for the Estonian brand as well. Is there anything else you would like to share with our viewers and listeners, that it's on top of your mind, that it's absolutely keeping in mind
Mhm.
when we talk about Estonia?
Yeah, as I mentioned, the top priority is really putting Estonia on the world map as a travel destination. Before all the crises hit, I think by per head, tourism was a very important business, and we have been working strongly on recovering that, but on a better level than we used to have. So it's important to really provide the best services for our customers, all the tourists that come here. I think that's
Hmm.
a very important thing, and getting people coming back. I think that's also an important trend, and we have really worked strongly together with our neighbors to attract people from more distant markets. We just had this big Baltic connecting event last week in Tallinn, which we brought more than 50 foreign buyers to really see Estonia and to experience what's really great in here. So yeah, a lot is going on in our tourism markets.
Great, and I'm glad that you touched upon an event. So I was planning to ask you about other hallmark spotlight big events that you have coming up in Estonia in various cities. I know that you have also a lot of EU events. You do a lot of things, lots of cultural events. Would you like to share some of your insights in terms of events and perhaps reasons people could visit Estonia to for a culture event or a sport
Mhm.
event or for other purposes?
Mhm. Of course, this year is Tallinn is the green capital of Europe, so that's a great reason to come and see how green we really are. On the other side, I guess the top event for this summer is the big song and dance festival, which is really unique, and I would definitely recommend checking it out on YouTube or whatever channel you can find videos about that. This is really unique, 100,000 people dancing and singing together. So I think this is a really top thing. And of course, if you're making longer term plans, 2024, Tartu, which is kind of a capital of South Estonia, will be the European culture capital, and it will really bring focus to them, and a lot will be going on from the start of the year. And yeah, recommend coming to Estonia, definitely.
Great. So a lot of things are taking place, and so you don't aim at only focusing on the capital of Tallinn, which is well known, but other cities, other places are attracting a lot of investments, events, recognition, attention. So that's great. Is there something else, Rainer, that you would like, as we're now approaching the end of today's episode, that you would like to share with our viewers?
Mhm. I would actually invite everyone to come to Estonia and our neighborhood, and see what we're really what's really what we have on the offer. So I think that's the most important point for me. So
Great. So thank you for taking the time being here with us. We barely scratched the surface into today's topic, Tallinn, the culinary capital of the Baltics, and soon to be the Nordics as well. I think I can foresee it in the near future. For more information, go to www.visitestonia.com. Great website, very insightful, great order, and you find a lot of valuable information there. If you plan your next trip to Estonia, I would highly recommend. I would like to thank Mr. Rainer Aavik, who took the time to be with me, the director of the Estonian Tourism Board. Thank you so much.
thank you.
And I wish you a nice rest of the day here from the rainy capital of Finland.
Thank you again.
Thank you so much. And don't forget, this is Travel Insights. Every week, I bring to you unique topics and interesting insights from professionals into the hospitality and tourism industry. Today, we looked at Estonia. And next week, I have another great episode as well. Stay tuned. And find us, of course, at traveldailynews.com and in all social media. I will see you next Wednesday. And of course, don't forget to reach out to me. Here is the email. Me and my colleagues are behind the travel dailynews.com press at traveldailynews.com email. So make sure you drop me an email if you want to be featured on the show, or I can reach out to you if I feel that you have an interesting story that I would like to bring to our viewers, as I did today with the Visit Estonia. So I'll see you next week. Stay tuned. Bye for me.